What is going on, YouTube family, as well as my stock sniper team? We've got ourselves a stock we are watching. We already got a little bit of it, and we're probably going to try to buy some more into the afternoon. But how is everybody doing? What's going on? I always like to say new day, new play, new opportunities. I call today Tag a Bag Tuesday. If anybody's got any questions, you can always write down in the comment box. What's up, my man, Ibrahim? Sorry if I butchered your name there. But love to see somebody's already commented in the box there. My team is live every single day on the Simpler Trading website on Stock Snipers. And what I like to do during Power Hour is I make a watch list called the Overnight Watch List. And that's something where it's 5 stocks that I'm potentially trying to make money off of from today to tomorrow. So we got actually 3 stocks I like a lot. We'll look to find the other 2, but there are definitely 3 here. So let's go over those really quickly just so I can show you what I'm looking at, and then I'm going to make the overnight watch list. Number 1 is this one. It's been my number 1 watcher all afternoon, RR. It's a robotic stock. I've been talking about robotic stocks for about a couple weeks since they've been dead for a while. If you open up my weekly watch list, which I do every single start to the week with my team, we actually have RR sitting right on there, and Wrecker, 2 robotic stocks. But RR started this morning at 170 when we were looking at it, and it really picked up since then. The reason why it got so much momentum was because it got news. And I always like to describe news as like a mushroom when you play the Mario game. If any of you guys have played Super Mario Bros., it's a little bonus to help you glide through the game. What up, Tactical Trading? How we doing? RR, he's going after as well. Love that. So we're both kind of tagging RR right now. We'll see if it can hold to the afternoon. We need to hold that 185, 186 spot. But the more it dips, the more I will enter because I don't have as much as I want yet. I usually like to enter more than what I have. So we'll see what happens here as Power Hour continues on. But this is my number 1 watcher, I would say, for a possible overnight play with the news. There's another news play. It's a drone-related stock, a little more riskier because it's a penny stock. But this penny stock has now been holding 76 and 78 pretty much all day. It has 2 decent spikes close to 90 cents, and then pre-market it went all the way to $1. So this is definitely one we'll keep our eyes on as we go through Power Hour. It seems like you would have to use this 76 area as the support. And typically what we like to do is in this last hour of the day, I try to zone into 1 or more of these stocks that I'm going to talk to you about. So right now we're kind of looking to see, can these stocks hold their levels that they are at right now and then possibly curl back above. So RR is number 1. We got PRZO, and then there's an OTC stock that doesn't look too bad. I'm not going to lie. We've been watching this one for a little bit now. Oh, actually, before I leave PRZO, let me actually just tell you, we've got some live news as well on PRZO. And last week, Trump put some tariffs on drone-related companies that are outside the U.S. Well, this company decided to do some business inside the U.S., so maybe they're trying to figure things out here. But their first U.S. order, it's actually like an Israeli drone company, came from PRZO. We'll see if that can continue the momentum, but it is like holding those levels, like I said. And then the last one is that UURAF. It seems like 210 is the support here. A lot lighter volume compared to all the other ones I just talked about. But this one is an OTC stock, which over-the-counter stocks are a little bit different, a little bit more riskier. So you want to be a little careful when it comes to the OTCs. But UURAF is a stock we've played before. We actually thought it was going to follow up on Monday, but it came back down. So now I'm looking at it again. It has a couple days in a row recently where it got rejected, but I feel like it's due for a gap up, and metal stocks have been pushing lately, and this is a metal stock. So it has days that are big in the past. Almost a year ago, it spiked from 250 all the way to 10. So you can see it's a stock that's spiked in the past, and it's definitely one we'll watch this afternoon. Another stock that we're going to have on there, so I usually only like to put 5 stocks on my overnight watch list, and I do it every night. or every afternoon, every power hour. But the other one is going to be CRML, and that is a metal stock as well. It's a first green day. If you look at CRML, the only thing I don't love about CRML is it doesn't have huge follow-up days. So usually what I look for is I try to get a day and then a day that follows up after that. And this one just doesn't have those kind of days. But I will put it on the overnight watch list. There's a chance it could still follow up. It's closing pretty strong. And then the last one I'm gonna choose. So I usually pick 5. I was looking at CYDY, but it's a little too sketchy. I'm gonna like this SMCI. If you're an options trader, you can do options on this stock as well. It has some really nice follow-up days, and that's usually what I look for. Can it follow up after a decent day? And this stock definitely can. So if we can follow up, I like the look of that, and we'll see if there's a possibility for a squeezer. But SMCI, PRZO, RR, which RR is my favorite, CRML, and UURAF. Those are going to be the 5. Let me update the list. It looks like PRZO is coming down to support now. So this is the level you want to see it hold. If it can't hold this 78, it's going to really start to look a little more weak and probably come a little lower. But let's see if it's able to hold this 78 spot. LAC is another one you said, tactical trader. Let's check it out. I got a couple Bitcoin stocks up because Bitcoin is definitely going to be huge tomorrow, in my opinion, if it's able to bounce. And we'll talk about those as well, the Bitcoin stocks, in a second. LAC is another metal stock. So it just shows you there's these metal stocks that are making a move. That's a nice one, like CRML and UURAF. So let's do it. Those are the 5 I like. Let me just update the list. It usually takes me about 3 minutes because I like to put key levels. Anytime I make the list, I really like to put key levels on them. I actually just came back from a stock conference with my investor. Honestly, it's a great crew of people. It's a great crew of guys and women. And I mean, there's mainly male teachers, but they did have a female up there as well. But my investment club, great guys. They were here in Orlando. This is actually the t-shirt representing the team right now. It was a lot of fun, but they are all short sellers, and I'm a long seller. So it was pretty cool. I was kind of like Darth Vader in the back corner watching Alex Temez and Bao do their thing on the short side. But really great guys, really motivational guys. But one thing I really did point out about both of them is they really both have a really nice system and a structure that they stick to and they don't really veer from. And that's really important with us too. And that's really my structure is this. The bread and butter is really this overnight watch list. So keep an eye on it. And this is usually where we make our money from. There's RR trying to bounce. So nice hold there. We also are watching UURAF. If it starts to come back above 215, I think I'm going to start to buy it. It seems like 210 wants to hold in UURAF, so that's the other one that we're mainly watching. And then PRZO, if I do that, I'm going a little lighter. That one's a little more risky, but it does have squeeze potential. As you can see, it ran a really big pre-market PRZO, all the way above $1. And I've played that stock before. It's an Israeli stock that definitely has ran in the past for us before. So I'll keep my eyes on it here. But RR, we'll start there and then we'll move our way through. So give me about 3 minutes right now. And if you were there this morning and you went over the weekly watcher with us, if you took a swing at RR, I was telling you since this morning the stock looks so good. You'd be up pretty nicely here if you caught 175 breakout earlier. Seems like 186 is a really good spot here for the support now. And if you look at 186, it's pretty much like a month breakout as well. Yes, we're making new highs there. Got to keep adding into that. I do want more, but I don't want to size up too much. That's where things get a little crazy. This PRZO did hold your 78 level for now and UURAF 210. So the whole thing about what I'm doing right now is I'm showing you stocks that are hot, but I'm also showing you that they have levels to risk off of. I'm not just buying a stock to buy a stock. It lands up with something that I love, and usually if I have the risk levels, that's where I'm going to go after it. Has to have the risk levels. For me, I always call it the big three. It's the pattern, the risk, and the volume. As long as it has those three things, you can go for it. Yesterday, we played two metal stocks and we made money off of one. Or we played one metal stock and we made money. So it seems like metals have been a thing. And Friday over the weekend, we made money off of a metal stock. So I feel like UUREFs do, but if it doesn't follow up, just make sure you stick with your cut. 1370. I'm up to 2,600 shares of RR now. It's getting closer and closer to 2. It's pretty dang strong. It should break 2. If not, that is a listed stock. It will move after hours. So keep an eye on it after hours. If it stays strong like this, there is a possibility it either moves and gets a squeeze after hours. It could also come back down, but I would say obviously rooting for it to go up here. PRZO, nice hold if anybody liked that one. I think I'm going to try to go after UURAF and RR. One OTC, one listed. I've been doing pretty good doing that. And then maybe, depending on how after hours goes with this PRZO, it seems a bit squeezy when it starts to get momentum. And it's starting to get a little momentum, so I usually like to watch that as well. Coming back above 80 here. We'll also talk about, before we end the session today, we'll definitely talk about the Bitcoin stocks. If you don't like anything today, there's going to be some big opportunity tomorrow if Bitcoin gaps up. So those will be really fun ones to go after too. I think it's really important for us to highlight those before we leave here. There's one that absolutely squeezed this week that we were watching, number 1 on my weekly watch list, BTCT, 100% spiker. Let's see if we could find the next one that does that if Bitcoin keeps going. That's always the goal. All right, I got one more stock I'm putting on my overnight watch list, and then we're going to review it together. And we'll see if we can make some money into the close. There's PRZO coming back to that 81 spot. Wow, it looks like Cisco partnered with SMCI. So more big news coming out of the semiconductor SMCI, and that's why it's having that first green day. And I usually say if stocks have news, it's a little bit of a bonus on top. So let's go over the 5 really quick. If you are on YouTube right now or social media, you can always ask me any question. Don't feel like anything's a dumb question. Remember, we are all somewhere at this one spot. The only stock I have right now is RR. We have 2,600 shares at 194, and I'm trying to get more, but that's where we start our watch list with. So this watch list is created every single day at 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern, looking to try to make us some money. And it did that yesterday to today, and we're going to try to see if it can continue to do that today. The first one that we got our eyes on is RR, and it's been literally my main watcher all day. It's got news. It looks really good. We're trying to play this for a gap up as long as it holds 187. If it comes back down and it breaks below that, then we got to get out. And that's the name of the game. The reason why we have these key levels on this watch list is because we usually want it to break above those key levels, and we want it to hold the other key levels. So the support is what you want to see it hold. The resistance is what you want to see it break above. The next one is a metal stock. Another one that I feel like is due. I feel like RR is so due. And UUREF is another one that I feel like is due. If it starts to come back above 215, I'm smacking. I'm going after it. Smacking the ass is what I like to call it, which means you just go right after it. So that is what we're looking to do. This is a lighter volume metal stock, and it's OTCs. So you're going to deal with a little more lighter volume stock. So beware of that before you buy it. It's an OTC stock, meaning over the counter. and are not as regulated as the SEC. The next one is PRZO. PRZO has been holding 78 now almost all day, and it does look like it has an ability to squeeze. So for this one, if you like it, go lighter on it. For sure, go lighter, but it does look pretty decent for any type of squeeze ability. So let's keep our eyes there. Definitely, if we don't like it, this will be a fun one to watch after hours. And if you want to set your alert after hours, I'll show you really quickly how to do it. You right click, you add a drawing, you press price level. Once you put the price level on there, you can actually right click the price level and then put create alert with drawing. And that'll give you after hours alerts. I don't even think Charles Schwab knows that they have after hours alerts. I've called them tons of times and asked them for after hours alerts, and they still haven't led me in that direction. And I just found that out through my man Himony. That's the bonus of being with the Sniper team. Shout out to my dude Himony. Great work with that. And then the last two I got, one metal stock, another one like UUREF. So technically we have one OTC metal, one regular metal on the watch list. And last but certainly not least, SMCI. For SMCI, you can look at the options too. They got news with Cisco on NVIDIA-equipped computing systems. So with NVIDIA-equipped computing systems, either way, you just use that support of 3760 that it's been holding all day. Oh, sorry, I didn't even change these levels. But 3760 is what you want to see it hold. 3860 is what you're hoping it gaps up above. And this stock has gapped up a lot in the past. We've seen it recently gap up. This long-term support's 24, the long-term resistance 50. It's got a decent range. But if you like that listed one, that is the last one we have on the overnight watchers. That is the 5 we're looking to make money off of. You can pick and choose what you like. That's the beauty of trading. You don't have to literally get stuck to one. I always recommend you find what you like in trading and you just go after that. That is the beauty of it. So whatever one you feel most comfortable, I'm here for that. We like UUREF and RR as our favorite. I've liked both of those since the beginning of this journey. So let's see what we get here into the close. And if you don't like anything, we will go over Bitcoin stocks in about 10 minutes, but let's watch these stocks for about 10 minutes or so. And let's see if we can have them settle a bit. For RR, I did want it to come down a little more to try to add some more. So if it does come down, that's fine, because I'll add some more. For UUREF, I'm about to start buying some right now because it's about that time. Usually I say the last 30 minutes of the day is my specialty, because that's when a lot of stocks have to decide which way they want to close. And listed stocks will move until 8 p.m. So like I said, with RR, we'll watch that till 8. With PRZO, we'll watch that till 8. But UUREF is going to close right at 2:30, so it's got to decide its way there. The one Bitcoin stock that did squeeze a lot, we had it on the overnight watch list yesterday. So a good example of a big squeezer. This one ran from 160 all the way back to 235 at one point for some profit there for an overnight big play. Ideally, PRZO does something crazy like that. If you're looking for a bigger risk one, I'm just here to tell you how it is. Every trader's different. But no matter what, you got to just stick to your plan and stick to your cuts. But PRZO is probably the higher risk, higher reward one of this list here. All right, so here's a little bit of dip that we're going to get out of this RR. Let's see how much farther it can come for us. PRZO is trying to come back to 81. It looks like it's got a seller at 815. Let's see if there's any spikeage to that. That 815 wall there. For RR, I would say I'm waiting a little bit lower to come right now, but we do have the 194 spot And then UUREF, the next 20 minutes or so, if it's still holding here, I'm going. I'm in attack mode. Let's see if PRZO gets above that 8150 seller here. And then UUREF, what we're looking for out of that one is just to hold 210, honestly. And then you try for a gap up. PRZO, nice little move. Trying to come back to 82 now. Let's see if there's any push to it. Oh, weird spread. Usually when you're looking to buy these stocks, to try to make them not as risky, you want to buy as close to those support levels that I just brought up. The whole purpose of me bringing up this list with support levels on them is because of that. When I make my morning watch list, I don't do that. Let me actually reset this really quick so I could show you guys my morning watch list. But I don't do that on the morning watch list. Sorry about that. I had to reset that for a second. So if we go up to the morning watch list, you can see that I have key levels that I talk about because we talk in the morning. But these key levels in the afternoon are usually where I come from. So that's why I always am going to put them on there. The morning, you just get kind of a list of stuff. We got some nice morning momentum squeezes on there. And then I'm going to add the Bitcoin ones right now so then we can talk about them. So PRZO did try to break here. Let's see if there's any more of a momentum to it. When it does get volume, it usually does start to pick up a little bit. 78 spot pretty nicely. Let's see if it gets any more push. Sorry, my computer's lagging a little bit now. Right when the stock's spiking. Jesus. Let's see if there's any more push to it. RR still holding up. That's a beauty. And then UUREF, we will start to buy soon. I usually like the last 30. We'll just patiently waiting here. Man, my computer just slowed down a lot. I think that's when I showed you guys the morning watch list. Let's see if RR could break highs. Our 194 spot might have to be a spot to reach above. We might have to say screw it. So I'm looking down because usually I actually do everything on my phone. So if anybody's ever interested in that, that is actually something that I've been doing now for a long time. I press buy and sell still on my phone. That's why I don't even mind if my computer's a little slow right now when I'm live streaming. Because no matter what, I still am looking down on my phone and everything's kind of sitting down. I actually have two phones here, 1 and 2. And those are really my buy buttons. I almost use it as like an analog stick if you like to play games. These are my controllers down here. Keep the buy and sell button on them. Nice buyer, just came in an RR. And if anybody caught that RR from earlier this morning during our list, they are feeling good about themselves for sure. I thought that we were going to even get. Doesn't even look like we're in that. I want to see if PRZO maybe gives us one more dip back to 78 because it's having a hard time up here at this spot. It actually came up to our alert spot already, so I can delete that. But I'll add more after hours alerts later and show you exactly what I'm. But it seems like it has a buyer at 8118. I don't know if it's going to be able to pop below that or above it, but that's a spot I'm watching right now as I'm watching level twos on these. Nice tactical. So tactical's talking a little Bitcoin right now. If we were to talk a little Bitcoin, BTCT is definitely one that we looked at yesterday, but now we kind of have our eyes on CYPH and BTCS for some big opportunities possibly. CYPH we do believe has the bigger ability to squeeze, but that one's a Zcash related stock. Zcash is actually an altcoin. So if you think Zcash is going to make a continuation, usually we like to hit those at plays. But I try to just base it off what's going to happen tomorrow. So I'll wake up in the morning and kind of play it from there. But I do want to have these high on the watch list because both of these stocks have the ability to squeeze. And we just watched BTCT, which was the other one, get a really nice push. Let me zoom out to show you. Well, I just showed you as well. But a move from 40 cents all the way to 260. So in my opinion, CYPH, if it can consolidate for a day, it might have the ability to do the same thing here. So keep an eye on that tomorrow for sure. So those are plays. Let me add these to the morning watch list as well as our big squeeze. There's always these morning momentum squeeze plays that we've been watching lately that have been doing really, really good. They have opportunities. BTCT was a morning momentum squeeze, but they have the opportunity to possibly squeeze 50 to 100%, sometimes even more in a daily span. It's amazing to see. So we've got these two on the list right now, Lucy and XPON, but I'll add a couple more. Let me just not forget about BTCT and then CYPH and BTCS. Nice. So there is the PRZO dip we were talking about. Let's see how much more it can come down. Either way, if it doesn't come down at all, after hours, watch it. And I'm going to put it on tomorrow's watch list for a possible multi-month breakout if we don't take it today. The PRZO definitely has the chance to do something. And then if we are in something overnight, so we'll start with RR. That's one that we are in right now. And then I am going to grab some UURF as long as it keeps holding 210. And we're looking for a second green day / month breakout there. And then UURF would be the same exact thing. Different kind of style stocks, but same kind of pattern. So let's see if we can get some holds into the close here. $150 has been the big hold spot for CYPH. So if it keeps holding that, definitely keep an eye on it. And then 135 for BTCS. So there's our morning watch list. I'm going to stop doing that because it's freezing things up a little bit. What else do you guys got? You guys got any questions or anything? Matthew, what's up, man? RIOFF, NIPG. Dang, you guys got some tickers. Let me see what you got. SMCI is coming down to that 38. Another listed one you want to keep your eyes on possibly for tomorrow. But let me see some of the ones you all just brought up. Sorry, I didn't see these earlier. TNMG. That one's a little too sketchy for me. What a nice little first green day. Possible squeezer later in the week. NIPG. Oh, wow. Only up 25% though. I'm in love with those ones. I love that we're bringing them up. RIOFF does remind me of the one we just played, LGCFF. If you like that, that's up to you. I just feel like, no, it's not. It's actually a really good one. I'll keep this one up on watch. Nice find there if you like that one. RIOFF. Another one like UURF, just a lighter volume related one, but I like that, Himini. I saw there was that DSVSF. That is a gold one. DSVS and GLGDF. Those are both gold ones. Let me look what they're doing. It's just a bouncer. And then DSVSF. These gold stocks are just slower, old reliables is what I like to call them. You just kind of have to understand how they move. That one's a little slower too. Like the one we had on the overnight watch list yesterday that ended up working out, it was super slow. But NTCPF was a nice 4% move. It's just, that's what I like to call an old reliable, just super slow. But has the ability to follow up. So we do have 25 minutes left. I haven't really grabbed right into UUREF yet. But if it starts to get some ticks up, that's when I have my finger on the trigger. I'm just waiting. Also, tomorrow, another good thing to watch other than Bitcoin. So on my weekly watch list this morning, if you weren't with me, we went over stocks as well as sectors to keep an eye on. Bitcoin was the first sector we were watching, and look at what was number one on the list on Monday, and it ended up squeezing 100%. So beautiful to see that. The next one that we have, the next sector is this biopharma stocks sector, because Moderna had an amazing breakthrough in melanoma cancer, something they've never seen before in forever. I think the success rate and just how quick, I think, and it was all done through AI. It wasn't all just AI. Sorry, let me correct myself. But AI helped a lot throughout this process. So people that are talking bad about AI, if it can cure cancer, that's pretty damn cool. As long as it doesn't start turning on us. But Moderna is a big runner, and it's actually looking pretty nice today. I have a small list of stocks that usually spike when Moderna does, but I bet there will be more of these pharma stocks that'll probably pop up. So mRNA is on the weekly watchers, and it's kind of squeezing back up towards highs. That means definitely tomorrow morning I got to put it on my watch. And if mRNA can make a move back to multi-month breakout, maybe we can get some of these other ones like VRAX that was just spiking with it last week to wake back up as well. That's actually a 52-week breakout too. It's a year breakout. I think it's all-time highs for Moderna. Long-term investors have definitely been happy with this stock this year. All right, so RR, oh, it's getting a little dip. It keeps getting rejected at this 199 spot. Debatable on, do you take it at 199 and try to just get more back at 194? I'm not going to play those games. I think I'm just going to try it at this point, and if it dips more, I'll just add more. UURF, I think I might just take this 214. We still have 20 minutes left, so I'm trying to wait, but it is holding 210 pretty nicely. Just don't want it to blow below 210 in the last couple of minutes. So there's still 20 minutes left here. Tactical Trader, thank you for bringing up some stocks today and talking in the chat. It's always nice to see other traders. My favorite thing is to kind of get together with other traders. That's why I love this weekend, getting together with the community, the MIC community. A lot of fun to see other traders' mindsets. And a lot of people don't realize that traders also have their own mindsets themselves, that a lot of your closest friends, even your fiance or your wife, they might not understand exactly what you're going through. So I think it's very, very important to have people around you that you can trade with. And then when you do just meet others that are trading, it's great. I don't actually, man. I don't use stocks to trade. I actually have my own little scanner I do on my team on Simpler Trading, and we try to send it every day on there. But I've been scanning now for so long and trading stocks for so long, it's usually harder for a big runner to get by me. I mean, lately, I probably could be a little better because there has been a lot more big runners, and it's been crazy. I love seeing big runners, so it's better to have more people and honestly more tools. So I don't talk down usually on any tool that could possibly help you. The one thing that I might talk down on is just like more tools, as in like more studies. Like, look how many studies there are, and it can get so overwhelming and confusing. So if you're one of those traders that feel overwhelmed, keep it as simple as possible. I use VWAP only. These other two lines I just have on there because I feel naked without them. But if you just stick to VWAP only and just think about it as you're buying something at one price and selling it higher, that's really how I break it down, as simple as possible. PRZO's back to that 78 spot. So good no read so far on that one. I'm not going to jump the gun on a dip just yet. I think after hours is where I'm going to kind of put my focus on. All right, RR coming down a little bit. Let's see if we can get closer to 190 so we can really slam in there before the end of the day. There is the dip. So I guess I could have sold there and got right back in at 194. Sometimes I like to do that, but I actually like this stock, so I'll just ride it out here. I don't like the stock like this is a great stock. I'm not saying it like that. Don't think it like that because you guys will think the wrong thing. This is not in the long-term stock for me. Just something shorter. If you do look at the overall market, though, it's pretty cool to see that we had a great last couple of weeks, and all this was happening while the markets were absolutely crazy crashing. Not crashing, but falling every single day. Where we did pretty well was Bitcoin. Bitcoin's been a sector that kind of heated up a little bit. So that was awesome to take advantage of there. And I'm sure it's going to come back if it could break back above 80K tomorrow, or I would say Thursday. Those are two key days you want to watch it, or Friday. But if it can hold this level, not break back below 77 and then break back break back above 80, it's pretty good signs that there's a possibility of us getting a pretty good squeeze out of all those Bitcoin stocks. So that's why we have those Bitcoin stocks on the watch list there for tomorrow morning. Looks like Tactical just uses VWAP and 9MA. I mean, everyone's got a little different. I don't even use those EMAs and stuff. But everyone's got their own little tools. So whatever you think works for you, I would say just don't overcomplicate it. And that's something that they talked about a lot this week too when I was going through the conference. CAN, this is kind of a morning momentum play if you look at it. It got the gap up, it consolidated, and then it squeezed again. I didn't really watch this too much, but right as it broke above those key levels from yesterday, it really did go. So that's kind of what I'm looking for right here. What you have in CAN is really what I'm looking for in CYPH tomorrow. So we'll see if that can happen. Almost identical kind of pattern we're looking for there. Looks like PRZO is going to try to hold 78 again. I'm going to wait after hours. And then UUREF, I still haven't attacked, but I think it might be that time. I keep saying that. Definitely in the next 8 minutes. If it gets to 350, I'm going for it. And then RR, I haven't added more, but I think I'm about ready too there. So both our levels are kind of getting to closing in on the time to go. And remember, this is trading. You're going to lose sometimes. So you have to understand that. So if you are a trader, understand you're going to lose. And if you do go after this, don't go throw no pissy fit tomorrow if the stock goes down. You got to man up or woman up, and you got to breathe a little bit, lose a little money, chin up, on to the next. Only way to stay consistent. The only way to find what works. Deteriorating yourself is very bad in this game. And it's easy to do. I'm buying some more right now of this RR, and we're just going to roll with it. So I'm up to 3,200 shares now. We're at 1945. So I don't love my spot at all. I wish I was closer to 190. I mean, I loved it all day, so I should have been in earlier, but I usually like to buy in the afternoon, and that's what I do. So we waited a little bit, and that's really what we're doing here. But it's holding some pretty nice signs. PRZO also showing signs of holding too, which is definitely scary for any short seller. The short seller conference I went to this weekend, they don't short sell below $1. So they have some strict rules that they stick to. And it was good to know that, because I'm like, all right, at least they're not the ones getting squeezed out on these ones sometimes. But once again, PRZO holds. PRZO holds. That 79 spot. I'm not going to do it. I think we're just going to stick with the one OTC and one listed. And then I will have some funds. I always like to keep my funds available just in case after hours PRZO happens, or pre-market tomorrow in one of these Bitcoin stocks. Or what if Bitcoin just squeezes after hours too? Then you got to be ready and have some funds available. So I kind of showed you the ones I like for Bitcoin. Now you're kind of just watching. What I do like to do is throw some alerts after hours. So I just did that on PRZO. I showed you right click, add a drawing, add the price level. And then once you line up the price level, you right click that, and then you put create alert with drawing. And you can do that with all of these plays here. I would do it with just the Bitcoin ones and with the ones that I talked about, PRZO. Nice. It actually bounced again. So that 78 spot is a pretty nice hold spot there for PRZO as it came back down and held one more time. If you did like it down there, it's not terrible. High risk, high reward, but you're going for that after hours squeeze. Make sure if you do take that one, though, you stick to the cut. If you missed 78, you got to stick to 76. And then SMCI getting a dip into the close. Actually, right back to support for SMCI. I use 9 AMA as my exit level on big moves. I typically use it as a trailing stop. I like that. I like that rule you got. WETO. Let me look at that one. CRML also coming dipping right to support. If you like these stocks, you want to try to get them close to the support levels. So both SMCI, PRZO when it did dip. I know it's hard at first to mentally tell yourself that, but that's what you got to do. Weedo, I feel like has been due, but I don't know what's going on there. But no, that's a nice watcher. Definitely one that has been running recently. The big runner that I think is a really good watcher for tomorrow, if you want to have a little money aside for it, would be this LUCY. It's held $1 now. This is a former runner. It's got that big 50% squeeze. I usually look for a 50 to 100% squeeze. If you can get that 50 to 100% squeeze, then you look for in the next day. If you do look at this stock, it looks like it gapped up before, so it's done it before. Will it be able to do it again? $1 is also a big spot, and it keeps holding it. And it spiked to 133 last after hours. So all that stuff you want to keep your eyes on. I'm going after URRAF. Nice. All right, so those are going to be the two. It'll be UURF and RR with a watch of PRZO in the other Bitcoin related stocks here after hours. RR obviously is going to be a main watcher after hours, so don't forget about that one too. It's got to move too. If it does get a little dip there, we'll probably add some more. There is definitely a chance we do that. All right, so we've got our UURAF. I'll have to buy the last bit of my RR at least before the bell. And that's all we look for are pushes after hours in these listed stocks and then a gap up for the others. SMCI, nice little push there as it made its reversal right off that VWAP spot. So just like we talked about, if anybody caught that dip, that's why we recommend dips. Himini, your stock, RIOFF, that gold stock's also making a move there. But we're just going to stick with the ones that we've liked since 2 o'clock here today. It was like 1:30 when I brought them up. I do still like PRZO for a possibility there. And then, like I said, I have my alerts after hours if anything does happen in BTCS and CYPH. But I think something in Bitcoin or some sort of news has to come out for those to do that. So I'm not going to get too crazy with them, but I'll be watching them. Let's look at what these SMCI options just did. They had to have a decent bounce there. Nice. So the SMCI options drop back to 90, back up to 110. Nothing too crazy, but still something. Nice little dip and ripper before the close. Same thing with PRZO, just continuing to hold that 78 before the close. Your CRML came back and dipped, but continued to hold. Now we just need the same out of these two that we're in. Jimmy, what's up, man? For RR, it's going to be 185. So I'll probably add on it. If it keeps coming down, I'll probably keep adding on it after hours all the way down into like 190, 189, and then I'll just stick with that spot as cut. I won't add more, but a lot more, but I'll probably add like $500 a couple times. So maybe like $1,500 more if I do add some more. Who knows? Maybe it gets a push though, and then we just don't do anything and we sell it for our target spot. That's what we're hoping. And then definitely PRZO. I do think there is a chance I go after it. Yesterday I did catch some BTCT after hours. It was only $120, but $120 is better than nothing after hours. I probably could have made a little more, but I had lighter size. But if you look at it, it got a nice movement after hours, and it was only because these alert lines I had in place. Those were from yesterday. I could delete them now, but all those were from yesterday. So do the same thing with all your other ones. Definitely do it on PRZO and RR up at 2. And then I would do it down at like 195, something like that for PRZR. I mean, for RR, maybe 193. And then for PRZO, I would put it at 83, which is a big spot it can't break, and then 79. But all of these are great to watch after hours, especially if I thought they were going to squeeze before that, then they have a chance. Damn, RR, not the best close there. Doing a little reversal. Faked this out, went back to highs and just sucked back right back down. All right, we've got 5 minutes left, but we've got our 2 positions, so we're just going to ride those. Look at that CRML. Really impressive close. And PRZO is also still kind of holding above 80. All right, we've got 5 minutes left. I usually say, let's see if we can get the buzzer beater pushes. With UUREF, it did the same exact thing last time, so I was a bit hesitant when I commented in the chat saying, I know I'm going to say this again, but UUREF I like. Maybe I was a little bit too soon there, but it's doing the same close as last time where it really didn't go anywhere. And I don't love that. But hopefully we can gap up back above 220. That's the goal. It is a very slower one there, so I wouldn't expect any type of jackpot. SMCI continuing to push here into the close, so pretty nice move. Yeah, RR isn't the best with gapos, but there are times, and you've got the news today, so that's kind of what really gives it a bonus. It's been due too. It's been a while since it's done anything. It looks like both SMCI and PRZO are going to close up here on their rejection levels. 83 is the rejection spot for PRZO. SMCI's high a day is 38.60. All right, 2 minutes left. We've got 2-minute warning. Let's see how we can close this thing out. Or it's about to be 2 minutes. Sorry, I spoke a little too soon. Almost a 3% bounce there in SMCI. That was a pretty impressive move there. Nice option bounce too. Dang. CRML's trying to curl. What's going on with our plays? Come on now. All right, now we've got 2 minutes left. 2-minute warning. RR is trying to curl again. It looks like CRML is going to curl back to highs, which is a metal stock. Come on, UUREF. Also, when it comes to metal stocks, I usually like to watch MP, and MP's having a pretty strong day as well. So maybe we get a squeeze day out of that one. I don't know, but it is helping CRML. Man, SMCI, what a bouncer. Why you buy on dips there? It is exactly why. That is exactly why. All right, last minute of the day, but make sure to remember these listed stocks will move after hours, so keep your eyes out. You might be able to get yourself a nice little PRZO squeezer and bag after hours if you missed it on that dip at 78. We'll see if it can break 83. That seems like the spot that it needs to get above. And then 90 is the next huge resistance level. So I'll put a line up here by 92 on this one. For the morning momentum squeezes, you know where to put the lines. Do it for Lucy, Lucy. It's a really good one to watch for tomorrow. It's probably my favorite one I've seen in a little bit. Well, actually, BTCT was. We didn't hit it. So throw your Lucy line in. Look at CRML just made new highs into the close. Wowzers. And there is the bell. PRZO, pretty nice close back to 82. RR showed us 197 for now. Let's see if it moves at all after hours. There's not a lot of times where RR moves after hours, but I have my alerts there. If it does, like I said, if we do dip, I'll probably get some ads. If not, we'll just let the rest of it ride how it was. This was a fun afternoon. For those of you guys that were with me on YouTube Live, if you want to do this, I am live every single day with my community. It's all about just trying to grow together and be better as a team every single day and just as a person. Tactical Trader, I had a lot of fun hanging out. Keep up the hard work, man. Keep up the hard work. We'll see you sooner than later. And for the rest of the team, much love on YouTube. I always enjoy hanging out with traders. Keep grinding and good luck on your trading journey, everybody.